last-minute injury puts the Warriors in front of a great challenge. Without Jimmy Butler, can the Californians maintain their rising pursuit of the title, or will the absence of the forward be the tipping point for everything to collapse? The question is simple, but the answer could change the course of the season. This moment could be a turning point, a watershed, and we are about to find out if the Warriors' story will be defined by overcoming adversity or by the loss of a unique opportunity. The Golden State Warriors, one of the most iconic franchises in the NBA, have always stood out for their ability to adapt. Over the years, players like Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green have written important chapters in basketball history. However, what stands out the most in the team's trajectory is their ability to overcome adversity. They have faced star absences, such as Curry and Thompson, and still managed to remain among the best teams in the league. With the arrival of Jimmy Butler, the Warriors found a new breath of life. The forward, known for his leadership and competitive spirit, was a true game changer for the team. Since his debut, the team has had an impressive performance, with 23 wins and only 8 losses after his arrival. It wasn't just the addition of a talented player, but a shift in the team's dynamic. Butler brought a winning mentality, an intensity that was missing, and elevated the level of everyone around him. The connection between the players grew stronger, and the Warriors seemed ready to push forward in search of another title. Now, with Butler's injury, the situation has changed. A true test of the team, who over the years have become accustomed to being one of the favorites, but now will need to face a different reality in this postseason. And the big question now is, can the team continue its path without the star who has proven essential for their campaign? What's at stake is not just the possibility of a title, but the continuation of a successful era for the Warriors. If you're also following this immense NBA drama, don't waste any time. Like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Only here will you stay up to date with all the updates, rumors, and analysis of the hottest basketball season. Don't miss out on being part of this conversation about the Warriors' future and the impact of Butler's injury. Last Saturday, the Golden State Warriors faced the Houston Rockets and managed to secure a crucial 104-93 victory. But that victory didn't come without a price. During the game, the Warriors played without Jimmy Butler, who was out due to a hip injury and a gluteal strain. Butler suffered this injury during the second game of the series when he fell awkwardly after contesting a rebound with Houston's Amen Thompson. Immediately after the impact, he left the court and did not return. His absence, which initially seemed temporary, now cast doubt on his availability for the next game. Coach Steve Kerr, a seasoned strategist, was clear in stating that Butler remains a questionable presence for the next game. This undoubtedly heightens the tension within the team and among the fans. With Butler's injury, the Warriors are facing a challenging scenario, but the team remains confident. They've proven throughout the season that they can overcome obstacles when they unite. However, it's impossible to ignore the impact of losing such a crucial piece in the team's tactical scheme. Behind the scenes, Butler's loss isn't just about who's on or off the court, but how the team will react without one of its pillars. Kerr, who has dealt with injuries to major stars throughout his career, doesn't seem alarmed, but the pressure is present. The thing is, Butler's absence goes beyond the physical. He brought a mental and emotional balance to the team, something hard to replace. Butler's presence in the locker room and his leadership mentality have been decisive in crucial moments throughout the season. With Butler's injury, Kerr had to make adjustments. Jonathan Kuminga was called up to fill the starting spot, but the real hero of the night was Gary Payton II, who had a decisive performance in the final moments, helping the Warriors maintain control of the game and securing the win with a series of crucial points. This type of contribution, which may go unnoticed at first, is exactly what keeps the Warriors competitive, even without their main stars on the court. But as much as the team trusts its players, the situation isn't simple. Butler's injury puts the Warriors' game structure to the test. The team will need more from Draymond Green, who, although doing an excellent job defensively, has been facing offensive difficulties in this series. His numbers in recent games haven't been the most expressive, and he hasn't scored more than 8 points in any of the games. However, his ability to impact the game without scoring is proving essential for the Warriors, especially on the defensive end, where he remains one of the best in the league. What will happen moving forward? How will the Warriors adapt without Jimmy Butler if the injury proves more severe? The team has shown resilience in other situations, but Butler's absence could be more significant than they're willing to admit. The key to the Warriors' continued campaign may lie in the team's ability to adjust and find new ways to score. Defense, with Draymond Green and the help of Peyton II, will be more important than ever, but the offense will need more options. Additionally, the Rockets' defensive strategy, which has proven effective by marking Draymond Green with Fred VanVleet, could be something to watch closely. VanVleet has been efficient in neutralizing Green, taking him out of his comfort zone, especially on offense. Will Kerr and the Warriors manage to adjust this point? With Curry and Klay Thompson on the floor, the team has plenty of offensive weapons, but Butler's absence could mean losing an additional threat that opponents would have to defend against more carefully. Butler's absence could also force other players to step up. Stephen Curry, for example, will have to take on even more offensive responsibility. His ability to dominate games, even without the full support of his roster, will be put to the test. The Warriors have a culture of resilience. And if there's one thing we know about this franchise, it's that they never stop fighting until the last second. But will this fight be enough to win the title without their most recent star? And what do you think about the Warriors situation? Can they win the title without Jimmy Butler? Or will his absence mark the end of a dream? Leave your opinion in the comments. And let's wait for the next steps of the Warriors and the adjustments Kerr may make to ensure his team stays alive in the title chase. After a tense but crucial victory over the Houston Rockets, the Golden State Warriors now face a dilemma far greater than just the next game. The team is projecting its future while dealing with the immediate impact of injuries, especially that Jimmy Butler, which leaves a big question mark hanging over the rest of the series. But as the franchise looks at this moment of uncertainty, a potential strategic move is gaining traction behind the scenes, with a mission of keeping Stephen Curry's championship window alive. And this change had come through a bold trade that could shift the balance of the NBA and, who knows, the Warriors' future. As the season progresses, the pressure on the Golden State Warriors to optimize their championship window and extend Curry's prime becomes increasingly evident. In recent games, the team has shown resilience but has also exposed clear vulnerabilities, particularly in the defensive sector. The victories without Butler and the difficulties faced by Draymond Green to balance his defensive and offensive production during the series against the Rockets have made the Warriors realize a critical gap in their roster, one that needs to be filled if the team is to remain competitive in the final stages of the playoffs. And that's where the hottest rumor circling behind the scenes comes in. The Warriors are exploring a trade with the Atlanta Hawks to bring Onyeka Okongwu to San Francisco. Okongwu's arrival, a 24-year-old center, would not only be an addition of an up-and-coming talent, but also a strategic response to one of the team's biggest weaknesses, interior defense. Okongwu, who had an impressive season with the Hawks, averaging 13.4 points, 8.9 rebounds, and 2.3 assists, stands out for his ability to protect the rim and be a consistent threat on offense, particularly in pick-and-roll plays. His ability to move well on both ends of the floor makes him the perfect fit for a team looking to elevate its defense and gain more presence in the paint. If this trade were to happen, the Warriors would need to part with Moses Moody, a young 2021 draft pick, and Tracy Jackson-Davis, a recent prospect, both seen as promising. However, losing Moody, one of the brightest future prospects for the franchise, could be painful, especially considering his potential as a defensive wing and his growing offensive contribution. The trade then becomes a delicate balance, but with the possibility of an immediate roster upgrade that could give the Warriors the strength needed to challenge the top teams in the NBA. Behind the scenes, discussions about trading for Okongwu are not simple. While adding a defender of Okongwu's caliber is seen as an immediate win for the Warriors, there are also significant challenges. The franchise needs to weigh the impact of losing Moody, who has already shown his worth in Golden State's rotation, especially in critical moments. Additionally, there's the matter of Jackson-Davis, who is a long-term project and could represent a promising piece of the future. The reason why this trade is seen as a strategic necessity for the Warriors is clear. The team needs a reliable defensive solution to protect the rim and neutralize the physical power of other elite centers in the league, something that became evident during the Rockets series, where Alperen Sengun imposed his presence in the paint. Green and Looney, although crucial, do not have Okongwu's athletic frame. Something that could be crucial during the playoffs, where teams like the Nuggets with Nikola Jokic and the Lakers with Anthony Davis are major threats to the Warriors' defense. Additionally, the move is also an attempt to maximize the remaining time of Curry at his peak. At 35 years old, Curry is playing his best and still performing at an incredibly high level, but time is not infinite. The window to secure another title must be seized, while Curry can still lead the team with his unique style. The trade for Okongwu represents more than just an immediate adjustment. It is a clear vision of how the Warriors plan to use every remaining year of Curry's career to capture another championship. Meanwhile, the Hawks, who are in a somewhat different situation, have their own reasons to consider this trade. The Atlanta team has shown reluctance to fully commit to a rebuild, especially with younger players like Okongwu. While Okongwu has shown great promise, his role with the Hawks has been inconsistent, especially with Clint Capella's presence, which has limited his floor time. For Atlanta, this trade could represent an opportunity to reshape the roster by acquiring young talents like Moody and Jackson Davis, along with potential draft picks that could be used to strengthen the team in a future star trade. For the Warriors, Onyeka Okongwu is not just a player who could protect the rim. He is the piece missing to take the team's defense to the next level. The rebounding and paint protection issues have been an ongoing problem, and adding Okongwu could finally address these weaknesses. Moreover, his ability to be a pick-and-roll target, a powerful weapon for Stephen Curry, would allow the Warriors to create an even more dangerous offensive dynamic. Simply having a center capable of completing Curry's assists and providing more fluidity to the offense would be a considerable advantage, especially in the playoffs. But the implications of this trade go beyond the defensive side. Okongwu's arrival could bring Golden State a new tactical dimension, where Curry, Looney, and Green would play in a more complementary fashion. Okongwu's presence would not only help protect the paint, but would also allow the Warriors to play with more balanced rotation without sacrificing the defensive intensity that has been a hallmark of the team over the years. On the other hand, losing Moses Moody, while a blow to the team's depth, does not mean the end for Golden State. The Warriors have other young players who could gain more playing time and grow, while Okongwu would be a definitive solution to the team's most obvious weaknesses. Furthermore, with the team focused on securing an immediate title, the trade seems like a logical strategic move, a necessary step to remain competitive against teams like the Denver Nuggets, Phoenix Suns, and Los Angeles Lakers. If the Atlanta Hawks decide to go ahead with the trade, it could signal a shift in the team's future. By parting with Okongwu, Atlanta would have a chance to restructure, acquiring promising young players and draft picks. This move would allow the Hawks to adjust their long-term strategy while still maintaining a solid base of players. For the Hawks, it's an opportunity to strengthen the roster with pieces that fit better into the current playing style and the franchise's future. And now, what does this mean for the future of the Warriors and Atlanta? Could adding Okongwu really be the key to another title for Curry? Or should the Warriors move forward with a different approach? Leave your opinion in the comments, because in our next video, we will explore how other franchises are preparing for this offseason full of moves that could shift the league's balance. If you like this video and want more analysis on NBA moves, don't forget to like, subscribe, and activate the notifications. Don't miss our updates on the future of the teams and everything you need to know to follow the NBA trade market.